Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. Hi, guys. How's everyone doing? Hope you are well. Thank you so much for joining me. Can we get a mic check? Check one, two. Check one, two. How's everybody doing? Hope you're well. I'm using a new streaming service. We'll see if it works or not. Oh, well. Good to see everyone in the house. First one in, we got Katie. Hi, Katie. Rhonda SB, Diane, Rhonda again, Sally, Peas in the Pod, Jackie. I want heart to touch. Incredibly incredible. Let's see here. Jackie again, Mom of Four Boys. Uh, Shannon Miller, I See You, of course, Connie, Tiffany, Stars, Moulin Rouge. Uh, we got R. Grimshaw, Emma, Sally, Mom of Four Boys, Beagle Mom, Always Late, Kathleen, Trina, Joe. Hello, Fun Size, Just Breathe, Joyce. Who else do we got? We got Angie. Me, Marie, Michelle, Momo, Carlos, All Things McGee. I'm going to say Angie. Angie's, is that how you pronounce it? Scorpio, hello. Spread Love, Deborah, Kathleen, Sally, Whoopsie Daisy, Michelle Tucker, Kathy S., Mr. Pork, Patricia, Mustang Mama, Hello Mary, Amy, Sandy, Monica. Hello everyone, great to see you all. Um, Hello kitty cats. Good to see you, Just Rosie. Good to see you. So we are going to be talking about Summer Wells and Serenity McKinney today. I haven't done a stream about either in quite a while. And first thing we're going to talk about is Serenity McKinney, an update on her case. We're going to talk about that. Mac Key. What did I say? I don't know what I said. Mackie. I don't. Anyway, Rosie, Marie, J. Hi, Justin. I haven't been on a chat, fam. Good to see you, my love. Thank you so much for joining me. Trying to get back in the swing of things. I've had it's been spring break, craziness, you know, all of that, keeping the kids, and then they had strep. So did my husband, and then life in general, all the craziness. But thank you all for sticking around. I appreciate it. Hey Roxy, good to see you. Yes, Serenity McKinney case update. I have a couple different, when was it? April 7th, April 8th. Okay, so let me pull it up here for 1 second. Add a source. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Someone just sent a Cash App. Thank you so much to who? Danielle, thank you so much for your Cash App. It's very kind of you. Thank you so much, my dear. And why is it not sharing the screen? There we go. Not entire screen. Oh, this one's backwards. Okay. Perfect. So, documents. Serenity McKinney, mother, expected to not change her guilty plea. She has pled guilty. She has pled guilty to charges of her daughter. and about about time this sweet girl can rest. Missing almost a year. Let's see, how can I change this screen? Almost missing a year, and it is more than time to lay this little beauty to rest. Of course, Serenity is from Louisville, Kentucky. Dakota and Abby, also known as Catherine McKinney, they were caught, I believe it was like Kansas or Missouri. They were running. They knew the heat was on them, and they were running. They were captured, finally. Thank God. But the mother accused of unaliving her 4-year-old is expected to change her not guilty plea. So she's taken a deal, is what they're saying. Catherine Abby McKinney has accepted an offer from Wilmette County Commonwealth Attorney Bailey Taylor. Taylor told WHAS 11 News he is unable to explain the details of the deal at this time, but expects an official change of the plea in the coming days. According to the Kentucky State Police, Serenity McKinney remains were found on Friday, February 18th, 2022. So what happened is Serenity's grandmother has been in contact with us recently, and we've talked to her. She has been so gracious and remembering us and telling us about the entire way. And this is not the one grandmother. This is the grandmother. This isn't the grandmother that is Abby's mom. This is the grandmother to the Serenity's father. She's the one that has been so, she's been out there fighting for justice for her granddaughter. If you guys remember when this case was all going on, we talked to Abby's mom, Serenity's other grandmother, and she was not very gracious, to say the least. It seemed at that time she was more worried about her daughter than her granddaughter that was missing a year. If you guys remember that, you will remember that interview, because everybody in the chat was like, what about your granddaughter? What about your granddaughter? And she's just like, I just don't think Abby and Dakota could do that. Well, if Dakota did, just that kind of thing. And it was just something. It really was. It was just something to behold. So the autopsy showed she was found in a suitcase filled with sand-like substance, and she had fractured bones. Catherine McKinney and her boyfriend, Dakota Hill, had been charged with the murder, and both had pled not guilty. They were arrested in Kansas, February 6, 2022. But now Catherine is expected to appear in court to change her plea to guilty, according to court documents. And here's this little beauty, Serenity McKinney. For those of you that will be getting, a lot more whenever the trial starts. I don't know how long it's going to be or anything. I am so pleased to tell you guys, by the way, that, Serenity's bio father, he was struggling. with some dependent issues for quite a while, and he is doing so good now. And if he sees this, I just want you to know that there are so many people that has been praying for your family, and just so happy that you are doing good, and just, being a light for your daughter that sadly was wrongfully taken away from her. Yes, Connie, Serenity was found. She was found um, in the area in a suitcase. So, yeah. So, yeah, if you can see here that this is right here, this is Serenity's grandmother, the blonde. See, we stay in touch with. I'm not playing sound, but this was summer. And you want to remember, they choose to do the windmills, because the windmills, it's a circle. It's never ending, right? So some of these children suffer beyond. And there is Catherine right there. There's Dakota. Dakota is like 6'6", 6'7", and it has been a long road, to say the very least. Well, the first time I saw Serenity, you just can never believe how cruel some of these, dare I say, humans can be. This is the most recent photo.
All right, Rick, we'll check back with you soon. Thanks. A massive search is underway tonight for a missing 10-year-old.
No, hold on. Let me get, this is another child missing, but.
He is expected to now plead guilty to that crime on Monday. Catherine McKinney and her boyfriend, Dakota Hill, were charged with murder, abuse.
This recent video
Use of a corpse and custodial interference in February of last year. A not guilty plea was entered for them, but court documents now show Catherine.
Fix your hair, honey. It don't matter.
McKinney is expected to change her plea to guilty. Serenity McKinney's body was found in southern Jefferson.
Look at that. Precious child. Gone. Yes, guys, do me a favor. Please hit the thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it.
Jefferson County a year ago, the 4-year-old was reported missing by a grandparent when family had not seen her in more than a year.
Breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. The news have done a wonderful job. And they have, in October 2022, the medical examiner reported Serenity's manner of death is homicide, but the cause of death was undetermined. However, Serenity was found with several broken bones. This is what I'm telling you guys. If you get remarried, have a boyfriend, have a girlfriend, and you have kids, please watch your children. I mean, honest to God, if you have a good, there's great step parents out there that treats them like their own, but there is also people out there that will not treat your kids like your kids. So we see it time and time again how step parents are many, many times to blame. What does the chat have to say? Glad she was found, but so sad. Yeah, so sad. At the end, sweet. Yeah, take them to a church. Take them. There's no need. There's no need. I think what I think happened, and it seems that Dakota had really bad anger issues to begin with. And when you mix that with drugs, it's a bad combination, right? It's a bad combination. Pick your partner wisely. Bingo, Scorpion. Yes, guys, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. So, guys, let's talk about Summer Wells' case. Thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate that. That is so kind of you. 5, thank you for keeping the children cases. Yes, thank you very much. So sweet. So, let's talk about Summer Wells. Summer Wells has been missing nearly 2 years. Coming up on 2 years. And by the way, are we going to do a second, if Summer's not found, is there going to be a second annual prayer vigil kind of thing? Does anyone know? Has anyone talked about it? Also listening to children. Yes, absolutely. If anyone has heard anything about that, let me know. I would like to do a second vigil. Eric, yes, I put, yeah, everything is too quiet. Yeah, things have been quiet, but you go to think about 2 years. How many times has there been that you can recall that there has been a missing child that they haven't been able to clear 2 years later, and that things didn't turn out really bad for the parents? And when I say bad, I mean that a lot of times they're involved. After 2 years, you can't clear parents. Why? It should be so relatively easy to clear at least Dawn, wouldn't you think? Dawn was at work, right? So if we know that Dawn was on that phone miles away, right, working, why haven't they been able to clear him? That's what I would like to know. If he was at work the day, June 15th, why haven't they been at least able to clear Dawn? Not just the parents, but nobody has been cleared yet after almost 2 years. That is true. That is true. But nobody at all has been cleared. That is absolutely true. But if the parents aren't involved, the first people you should be able to clear, if they're not involved, is the parents. I don't think Dawn worked. What did you say here, Michelle? I don't think Don worked. If so, maybe just a few hours. Don would have been cleared. Well, I mean, I kind of agree with that. You think he said that he normally works, till he was going to work later to that day. Why didn't they say, why haven't the police publicly said Don was at work? I don't believe he was at work. Someone even said he was at a woman's house down the road. Well, there is no infinite proof that Don was at work that day. I have not seen a soul come publicly out and say Don was at work from this time to this time. Haven't seen it. Now, do I think Don was down the road at some woman's house? Probably not, to be quite honest with you. I think it's probably just a rumor. But I do not believe Don was at work. And I was listening to an old interview of Don earlier. And it's amazing how, Don and Candace know what time they wake up, what time they go. Don goes to work, but they know what time they, around about time they go to the hospital, around about what time they pick up Hunter. But from then on in their interviews, they know not a time. They cannot recall nothing. Do I think H was involved? I don't. No, I don't think H was involved whatsoever. But I do think H is involved in this story as what we just about what we know, that he was with them at some point during, the day. But I don't think H has anything to do personally, in my opinion. Uh, what does this say? Yeah, yeah, completely always changing the timeline. I don't think Don actually suspected Candace. I think Don actually suspected Candace at one point. Something happened that was unexpected. I would agree with that. I personally feel like an accident happened. But then I also think about, was Dudley fired the day prior for a reason? Because if he was intentionally fired the day before, that would be premeditation. It would be. What parent wouldn't remember every single thing happened the day their child went missing? You would think, Penny. You feel like H knows something. Um, I don't know. I mean, maybe he knows more. Maybe he's very scared. Uh, New law getting passed. If anyone signs missing children to not runaways, children would be found quicker. Yes, investigators should start from the home outward. Petition for and please sign. Thank you. Not credible witnesses for the day or the day. I mean, shit. You can't even get the parents to keep their story straight, let alone anybody else. When it comes to Don and Candace, they won't say anything. Hey, April, them let me change what, mind? Without a body, it takes a while to get their P's and Q's. Absolutely. I don't think it's a dry drowning. I really don't, personally. I've always thought something happened to her by accident and it was covered up some. I lean toward accident as well. Okay, thank you. You think it could be premeditated, Sally? I mean, that's to say if but we don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know that. That is just speculation at this time. But, you have YouTubers saying, oh, well, this person died, and this person died, and this person died. All these conspiracy theories. Stop believing that BS. Seriously, don't believe conspiracy theories, people. It just murks up the water so much more. In my opinion, they were. Well, Patty, it's interesting you say that because I'm going to play something on that in a minute. They don't want Summer's name out there. They accuse YouTubians of. Oh my God, yes. I see you. Can you send me that link to the YouTubians thing? I want to play that if you have time. Morning from Australia, darling. That was British. An accident under the influence and freaked out and did whatever they did. Well, let's say this. What if something happened with Candace being gone, doing whatever she was doing, grandma asleep, and what if the kids are just out playing and something happened? What about then? Whatever happened to the case with Dawn's sisters? Nothing yet that I'm aware of. In my opinion, CBS was coming to take. Potentially. Nice to see you, Nosy. Good to see you, honey. Rock, hello, good to see you. Maybe it's time to push Grandis. I feel she had an accident on that swing, or she got into. Oh, interesting. There's a million theories out here about, Summer, Dawn, Candace kind of thing. But this is one of the most baffling cases I can think of, because we don't have, the parents have said so much and have also said nothing at all at the same time. And we don't have like rock solid facts from the police, because the police doesn't really give us, a timeline that they was here at this place. We know, we confirm, you know what I mean? So it's just been a mystery. What do we got here? Yes, anyone with the credible information, please call 1-800-TBI-FINE. Eddie, I agree with you, and I think the shed was the pickup drop-off point. That is why Dawn checked there first. I think it's very interesting that you would go to a shed where nothing should have been there. The first place that I would go is up to the house to see where you have checked and what's going on, right? I think it's also interesting that the Well, what? Not the Tahoe, but is it the Tahoe? I can't think of it. Starts with a T. Was sold as well for very cheap. One kick, Moonlight Bay. I'm so sorry, Angie. We are trying to figure out how to unban people over there. I don't know. And sometimes, like, people say they're banned and it doesn't, we don't see that they're banned. Don and Candace seem to spread more rumors than anyone. We only have what they tell us, and it keeps changing. Sally, you know something? Candace recently said on a show that the only person that has the true timeline is TBI in Hawkins County, and they are the only ones that Don and Candace have told the true timeline to. And so it made me think, so everything that you've been telling us for the last 2 years have been off? Has it been a lie? What has it been? And plus, you don't see very many parents, saying, listen, if you need to get in touch with me over my missing daughter, call me. Have your people call my people. Not, I'm on the phone with you every day. I mean, even Grandis calls and checks on Rose once a month. They have a call with police once a month. The shed is suspect. It absolutely is. On Kick, I don't know. Various. I think I'm going to email them over there. There's so many, Tyler. There's so many. The shed is the only place where Candace wouldn't let CM go and check. Now, she didn't say he couldn't go, but what I will say is she said, oh, you don't want to go in there. There's tools and stuff and everything. And she's like, but you can go in there if you want to. Now, a person is not going to go in that shed if they say you don't want to go in there. There's all kinds of stuff in there, but you can go if you want to. They're not going to go anyways because that would be uncomfortable for them to go in. It's a Yukon. Okay. Is it a Yukon? The green Yukon. That's what it is. Okay. Thank you. Is it? What about the Facebook friend of Candace they found dead beside the interstate? I forgot her name. Her name was it Crystal? But listen, I don't think any deaths that has happened, Leslie, Jose, that person, any of them have anything to do with Summer Wells missing. I just don't. And to be honest with you, I have never left 110 Ben Hill Road personally. And the reason is because the parents can't even keep their story straight. They're not involved, in my opinion, like normal parents are normally. And that's just that. Everyone says the Suburban, but I think it's a Yukon. Same except different, yeah. And I did ask Candace's friend I forget her name, to be honest with you. She has a channel. I've talked to her in there. I've always been extremely respectful. She is extremely respectful, though I disagree with her in Dawn and Candace. However, I did ask if she bought that vehicle, and she never answered. Maybe she didn't see the question. Maybe she didn't want to answer. I don't know, but I did ask, and I did ask it a couple different times, but she never did answer. So there's that. But Don did say Candace sold it very cheap, and he put a lot of money into that as well. So they don't even cry or press the police to do more for Summer. I mean, according to others, they said they've seen Candace cry. However, what bothers me is the lack of, when Grandma did the interview with the local news, Candace was literally feet inside, and she writes a letter. A letter. Now, if you are trying to clean up your image a little bit, Candace, Dawn, that's not the way to do it. It makes you look worse, in my opinion. Dawn said Summer is being, he said this on the news. I didn't hear that. They come to YouTube for help, but lied the whole time. That's going to hurt in court. Yeah, it can. I never seen parents get mad and not want their missing child looked for. Yeah, because I mean, personally, me, if I was innocent and my child, God forbid, would ever go missing, what you need? What you need, sis? Get over here. Let's clear it. Come on, let's clear it. Let's get me out of here. Go, skedaddle, out the door. Like, seriously, Don has hit. Well, and that's the thing. You know, there's been other YouTubers who said, I didn't think I mean to start that, but where is that? Don has a history with sheds. There's been other YouTubers who said, well, you know, Chris knew he had a history with sheds and all that, right? Well, yeah, and what does a person do? They repeat behaviors. That's what they do. They repeat behaviors. And to be honest with you, I mean, he may have not been in that shed that day, and Chris has said may or may not have been in the shed that day, but there's also a feeling you get as well. And the feeling could have been off. It could have. But there is usually a feeling of a person looking at you or knowing, you know, it's like your sixth sense. Oh, really, Jackie? I didn't know that. The Wells are YouTubians. Did the media and law enforcement forget this, or are they too stupid to know? The excuses I keep hearing for why Summer's case might now be solved by law enforcement is BS. Yes. Let me check my email. I have something. One second. All right, so we're going to share to the YouTubians give me 1 second. I want to pop this up here. I need to log in 1 second. All right, now this is from we'll say a buffoon master or a banjo master. We'll call him a banjo master. And it says, to the YouTubians who have channels that may end up being taken down if you, plural, even slightly, continue to accuse the Wells of child T, describe the house as a dungeon, or pulsate out of any verbal garbage that abuse the ears and hearts of the Wells children who will hear it, regardless how fluently or fluidly it is presented, at least your channel will be shut down. Furthermore, what is done has been reported. You have become the digital child abusers. You have become the digital woman beaters. It is bad enough that you digitally BEAT on another man's wife or use her for self-glory. Excuse me. But after all this time, to continue to have no respect for children is intolerable. Your opinions or possible theories are a vile poison whose effects will show up in the Wells children's lives. You are not entitled nor have the credentials to know anything, but it is your own short-sightings decisions to harm the Wells children with your verbal slanders, defamations, lower shed talk, basement innuendos, and torturous, unbridled imaginations about the summer case and and unrelated family matters you have manipulated out of the vulnerable. You are not law enforcement, and you are not only have harmed Summer's case, but you continue to harm the child for profit. You cry delusions, SA, while being DA, which means digital abusers. Not only are you a sore in the side of law enforcement, but you are a shame to the United States of America's constitutional federal republic, teaching citizens to spy on citizens, degrade citizens. You know, I'm just going to have to stop right here for a second, because this honestly reminds me of this sorry. This reminds me of, you remember that radical church that would say, like, what is it? I can't think. Westboro Baptist Church. The way that they talk, God hates gays, God hates this, God hates that, the way that they frame their words and their sentences. Yes, and I was just watching a thing on Netflix, and it was a radical FLDS. And I don't want to say that all FLDS or anything are like this. This was a radical show that I was watching on Netflix. And the way that they frame their words is, I mean, I really wonder about this person sometimes, to be quite honest with you. The way that he frames his words, and he wants to call everyone else, in my opinion, a tragedy pimp. But from nearly day one, he was the first one knocking on their door, in my opinion, for the rights of these photos of Summer Wells, of these names, and all of this. So if this man is so holy, unlike us sinners, if he's so holy, then do it for free. Do it for free. WWJD. You know what I mean, Tim? Take all of those, the photos that you have, either allegedly trademarked or copywritten or whatever you do with it, and take them off. How about that? Jesus didn't trademark anything. I'm just saying. Okay? So, just that. So he goes on, you are helping create a monster that borders on treasonous as you degrade the value of U.S. law enforcement or try to redefine it. There are social media rules, there are local laws, there are federal laws. Thank you for that, Tim. Thank you. Potentially destroying the mental health of her brothers. It is not helping Summer and could easily be called digital abuse. Now, I agree. Some things that have been said he's right in a lot of the sense. There's been things that's been said that has been so outlandish. That the brothers, and people in general shouldn't have said. But he continues, of course, they are seeing and hearing your tormenting verbiage, likewise attacking another man's wife, and potentially her mental health could easily be. This is what is ridiculous. I can't even say it on here. He puts it on social media, but I can't even say it. Easily be called DIGITALR. There is no difference if the channel manager says it or if the CM allows someone else to say it on the channel without immediately negating it. And do you have a clue if your channel's listeners are all stable? No. Do you know if all the people reading this is stable? No. You can't screen everybody on the internet. That's why The internet's got everybody on it. Crazies, sane people, and everything in between. There's 7 billion people on the planet. And a lot of them are connected to the internet. Are there those being fed by you and will respond in dangerous ways? ? And to whomever the day the FBI bows to you and uses all your tools to help will be the day your tools might very slightly considered bias is not a tool even remotely needed at this time. Conclusion: accusing or hinting someone of child T immediately gets a channel removed from and your money feast ends. Likewise, the FBI has your names. The following rules are clear. This isn't anger. This is truth. TM. Laughing. This is America. The truth protects the truth. The truth. He just seems like a lot. Like a lot of I'm just feeling like a little bit of craziness there. His videos are beyond strange. I actually don't watch his videos. Do you guys remember last year when I was live and I was down at the river or down at the horse pond and I'm sitting there talking about Tim and I look to my left and Tim is there. And then like everyone's like, we hear something. What is that sound? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He said it was a ghost. Exactly. Now, there has been people I don't know. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of characters in this arena. But the main thing is that Summer is brought home. It's not our job as YouTubers to solve this case. It's not our job. We're not law enforcement. We can serve and help in any way we can, whether that's searching or whatever, but it's not our duty to solve. It's our duty if we get a tip or we feel something is valid to pass that over to law enforcement, TBI, and that is it. We can, I don't personally mind talking about, hypothesis, theories, if you will, but I want people to know that is an opinion, a theory, a hypothesis, whatever. Yeah, almost like a Stephen King novel. Out the human back into humanity. Yeah. I hope if Summer is not with us anymore, she haunts the ones that knows what happened. Listen, there is, God knows where Summer is. She's probably with him, God, right now, to be quite honest with you. And Summer knows what happened to her. And there are people on June 15th that knows what happened to Summer. and still know what happened to Summer. Now, do any of us know exactly who it is? We don't. But we all have our suspicions. Can you say, Justin, thank you, mods, in chat, that we do our thoughts on topics only? Yeah. That's a good way of putting it, ICU. We know where our soul is, but just not our body. Yeah. Justin, all this time, for whatever reason, I have never felt like she is deceased. I mean, Mary, listen, honey, I hope you are right. Lord have mercy, I hope you're right. Hey, Muscles, how are you, honey? I have a fan on me because I turned the air conditioner off. I cannot sleep with a fan, guys. If I have a fan on me, I'll wake up with pneumonia the next day. Oh my God, I gotta turn it off. But now I'm gonna burn up. I can't do it. I gotta have a fan, even though if I get stuffy, I'll burn up. Yeah, I mean, there's been people who I have heard every theory under the sun. The problem for me is I do not think Summer was taken off that hill, in my opinion. If you have ever been to 110 Ben Hill Road, or just been to Ben, not necessarily the house, but went past the house, you get it a lot more. You understand that nobody came up there and took that kid in 2 minutes. And she just disappears. Now, it's just not. And also, when a father says this gives credit to the interview room. Please subscribe to Chris McDonough at the interview room if you haven't already. I think this is how to do it. Maybe not. Maybe so. Oh, okay. This is how I do it. I'm getting it, childrens. I am getting it. This is the interview room with Josh at the lab, and then Mary, which is Donald's stepsister. And this is the call with Don Wells.
I've been to places in California where I've been.
Okay, this is the part for the whole call. This is the part I think has the most relevance potential in Summer's case. Okay, I'm going to back it up here. And I want everybody to listen to this very carefully. And then let's weigh in. So here we go.
I've done what I did. I get that.
Right.
I still have, I remember many times throughout my life, girls hitting on me. I've been to places in California where I've been to some places where there were little kids, where people were trying to sell these little kids.
Oh, wow.
I've seen a lot of shit.
Okay.
Now, this is my question. And you didn't do anything? You didn't do anything after you spin to places in California by your own lips, and you didn't do anything. And the second thing is, why were you around those people to begin with? Why would you even, who, like, seriously, where do people even go for that kind of stuff? You know what I mean? It's like, what? This is why so many of us cannot, and in my opinion, the police have not been able to clear them. But yet, I get it that the police say that everyone's still a suspect. But everyone's like, oh, well, yeah, Jose. Yep, he was just 3,000 miles away up in Alaska. You know, this man was up in New York. Like 9 months later. Yeah, 9 months later. We can't get past the parents for, in my opinion, a reason. Yes. And then he dies. And trust me, he all got mad when people were saying he probably is. Yeah. Now, I don't think it's fair personally to say that he did anything like as far as SA summer or anything. I don't think that's fair, to be quite honest with you. And the reason is we don't have evidence of that. Now we do have this call, and we have Don saying, doing things when he was younger. But I don't like to say that because I don't know. And when I don't know. So I don't personally ever say that personally. Because I just don't think, Don is weird in a lot of aspects, in my opinion. But my question is, why was he around these people? And what kind of person associates themselves with people like this? Yeah, I mean, Jose we knew more about Summer because of Jose, about who Summer was, right? I think Jose made things a little bit more grander, more colorful things, some things. Maybe he stretched some stuff. But the thing I will say is Jose all these other people, they are some of the last people on my radar. And Debbie, and that is what I'm saying, birds of a feather flock together. That's who goes to places like this. That is true. I'm not going to say that Dawn. I mean, I still have interviews of Jose, calls and all of that. That I just feel extremely Jose's gone and Leslie's gone. It just there's people that have died in the last 2 years, but people die, and the whole Jose situation was weird. I mean, it depends on what you mean by weird. The reason was Summer was hid. To cover up. So, JD, I think you could be right. Yeah, Leslie passed. I don't think Summer was deceased in that milk photo. I'll tell you that right now. Jose died when? Oh my God, Jose! How long has Jose been gone? Jose died of a overdose, and it was it crack or meth laced with fentanyl? Yeah. Just really bad. Really bad. Jose was really hurting. He really was. And I just think that he was fighting with his girlfriend, I think the last week or two, and things were just spiraling. He died at a homeless camp. So he was doing really good for a minute. We got him clothes to go to his job and shoes and all of that. And, when things happened with his girlfriend, that was really bad. I think he was trying to escape his thoughts, maybe like, he just called and would just cry. Addiction is very real. And, when people are addicted, they are trying to escape a feeling, a situation, a memory. And, he was getting ready to go back. He had just started. His whole thing was he wanted to be in touch with his family again. And he had just started talking to his family again, and he was so excited about talking to his family again. And, you know, I mean, Jose and Andrew and all of them, they're all, you know, loco at times, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a really bad situation, you know. They turned. What is that? Yeah, he was just a yeah, like, listen, Precious, I mean, I understand I'm sick and tired of repeating what a deadbeat career criminal keeps saying about Jose. Yeah, like, you know, it's, to me, it's like pot, meat, kettle, right? But that's just me. Now, Andrew had said some really crazy things about Jose. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. And he apologized after Jose died. I wish he would have done it before. But Andrew's Andrew. He said some things that wasn't very nice. And to be frank, Jose said some things about Andrew that wasn't really nice, right? Too much for me the other night, too much. I agree, Muscles. It really was. And after Jose died, maybe even before Jose died, or right about somewhere around there, Andrew did talk about that he did lie, you know, and he said things that he should not have said, and made up stuff. So I appreciate that he eventually said it. So I'll give him credit there. I wish he had, you know, but it is what it is. Yeah. Oh my God. Listen, when we found Jose, it took us 3 months to find the man. And when I say 3 months, ICU will tell you 3 months of every day, we were going to find him. And it was very difficult. But we found him. We found him. We traced him down. And it took a lot of work. A lot of work. And that's when, you know, everybody had been trying to find him. How did we find him? About 1.2 million calls. And we finally tracked him down. So it shocked, yeah, it did. It shocked everyone. And, you know, people didn't believe it for a long time until they saw his face. And then there was people saying his face was computer generated. And then they were saying he wears more makeup than I do. And I know that's a lie right there, both of them. I wear more makeup than anybody. And that was that. So, hey, Dizzle. Yes. How are we going to do it, though? Thank you so much. I am also known as the, what did they call me? I forgot what they called me. I don't even remember what it was. It was something like the kin. What happened? I don't need help. Where's this thing? I messed up the stream here. Go back. Go back. Oh. Sorry, I thought I unmuted, and then I thought I unmuted again. Only vote one time. One time. One time. I know I'm muted. Keep on keeping on. Now, to claim your prize, what happened? Am I not live? Can you hear me? Namaste. Can y'all not hear me? Okay, I'm live. Okay. I know I'm live, but I'm just like, I don't know why she said, I don't know why our discussion is over. Oh. I'm just waiting for a Dizzle to... Okay. All right, a Dizzle. Find out who the winner is. Now, we will announce the winner on the next... Yes, I got the number, a Dizzle. We will announce the winner on our next live, which will be tomorrow. Okay? So stay tuned for that. If you don't get to be at our next live, just make sure you watch it within 24 hours after the stream so you can claim your prize. Email us so you can claim your prize so we can send it to you. Okay? All right, guys. So I am going to jump off. The lab, Joshua, just went live. If y'all want to head over there, we will continue to talk about Summer Wells. We'll be live tomorrow. I'm back now. Calm down. I'm back. We will be doing lives just about every day on one channel or another. So please go see Josh over at the lab. Tell him Justin sent you. Tell him Lipstick Gurus sent you. Lipstick Boy. Okay. So, all right. Love you all. I really appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. God bless each and every one of you. Hit the thumbs up. I'll see you over at the lab. The lab. Okay.